to help. And smiles, big and goofy and happy, and puts a big old hand on each one of you, and he's got the reach. He comes across the table and like puts a hand on you, Virgil, right on your forearm, and shakes you, and puts one on the top of your head, Jove, and shakes your whole body side to side. Goo, 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 goo. Did did you want more to eat? As he's finished eating all the kind of odd bits and bobs out of the bowl.
I think I'm fine. I think we ought to get back to our friend and talk about when we're going to Miss Mary's.
Oh, okay, okay. I'll wait for you.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll see you soon, friend.
Uh, bye, friends. And you see he goes, and as you're leaving, turns back towards the kitchen, takes the bowl, refills it with more potatoes, and starts kind of just like walking around the house, looking at stuff and nodding, and just absolutely inhaling these full-size potatoes. Both make your exit and start heading towards the burgomaster's residence. You have a bit of time to talk before you get there. It's not a long walk by any means, but enough for you to squeeze a conversation if need be.
I think we both know what's going on here.
Most assuredly. We'll switch on over now to Alder. Alder, you nod to your companions as they head towards Luca's house, and you head towards the burgomaster's estates. You can see that his covered wagon has been pulled back. You can see the heavy burn marks on it. You smile to yourself. No, that likely that's going to be a lot of work to fix that.
Should have let it burn a little more. Oh well.
You think to yourself. Um, you head towards the front of the estates. You see the group of thugs huddled there. Two of them just kind of stare daggers at you. The one with the missing tooth up front that you've seen a couple times before. Oi.
Morning, gentlemen. Burgomaster is expecting me, as I'm sure you were too.
Yep.
Yup.
Good luck. As he kind of looks back down, he's not giving you the same hostility as the others, but you could definitely feel the change in the air.
And he will go ahead and approach the door and knock on it.
Uh, One of the servants opens it and, oi, you're expected. And opens the door for you, and you see the burgomaster is seated at that kind of center table. You can see Sybil is at the other end, and she's doing kind of like a card reading. She has her cards flipped out, and they kind of like a combination of like good magician magic and like dealer skill. Flicks the cards out and puts out into a spread, and they seem rather engaged in that. It's the burgomaster who breaks from it and sees you and oh there. Good, good. You've been expected. Excuse me, Sybil. We will return back to this. And you can see that kind of arcane zone that spellcasters get into as she's kind of concentrating on her reading, letting that kind of magic flow through her. Um,
As she does that, before I forget, I'm
yes.
gonna roll my portents.
Smart, smart.
Yes. That is a 10
10. Gotcha.
and a 17.
Flip it on over. 10 to 17. Talder's portents. As she focuses on her reading and her magics, the burgomaster curtly, "Come, I have what you are looking for," and takes you out back, past another group of the burgomaster's thugs to what appears to be kind of a small shed in the back, and leads you to it and says, "Oh, you wanted the records to see what it was that Eugen was collecting. Here you are. Go ahead. Take a look inside." What do you do, Alder?
Why was he putting it back here in this shed? Seems a odd place for it.
Oh, well, you wanted a collection of what Eugen has been up to in the recent weeks and months. So I collected it all and put it in one place just for you. But since you were so keen on being informed about the poor choices one of my former tax collectors made, I figured you wouldn't mind. So please be my guest. Take a look at his handiworks.
Very well. And he will look inside the shed.
You open the shed, Alder, and it's the smell that hits you first before your eyes can adjust. That slick, iron-tinged smell. And inside you find the remnants of the sheep from the day before. Over a half dozen of partially eaten villagers. A number of crates with rotting goods inside. A disgusting display. I'm actually going to need you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
For a save,
Yes.
that is a 23.
A 23. You see this, and a normal, run-of-the-mill person would likely be frightened, disgusted. And while there is that disgust in you, you're not a regular person. You're a viper of the Zenitrim. You have had to do things that would make other people curdle in their sleep. You've seen carnage before. And so you inhale and breathe it out your nose and steady yourself in a way that is very Alder in this moment. You can see the slight disappointment in the burgomaster's face as you just stonewall and look through, and you can see they altogether you're looking at probably about 8 or so partially consumed villagers bearing the same kind of gnawing, ripped, torn marks that your body was inflicted with the night before. You can see Eugen's preference for going for the neck on the right side. And whilst you have your whole flesh there, it is like someone went and just cut that part of them in these horrid, large bite wounds. Many are missing most of their appendages. Some are merely the remnants of a torso. You can see bits of teeth in many of them, partially grown out from said wounds.
Gross.
Indeed.
Does Alder recognize any people that have been eaten? Is there anyone that like stands out here that he can identify?
Roll me insight.
Insight?
Yeah.
Okay. Insight. That is a 13.
A 13. Looking
Or
across.
12. Actually,
12?
that's a 12. Sorry.
12.
I misread that. Yeah, 12.
Looking at the bodies here and the likes, you don't recognize any of them. None of the people you've kind of run into that still have that kind of spark of livelihood. Yeah, I'll say with a 12, it doesn't appear to be any of the villagers you personally know. But they're all clearly Or's new make, that kind of dark browns and boiled leathers that many of them wear. Threadbare in some places, furs that are still left on that have seen many seasons of cold and winter. But no one that you're like,
I imagine, yeah, like looking at it too, I imagine like nothing stand out. Like these just seem like ordinary people.
no,
Nothing
it's not the Grellins of the Seven Tables. It's not Serena or her parents, anyone like that. And some of them, you'll say, would be difficult considering they're missing most of their face.
gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, after surveying over it, he'll walk back towards the burgomaster and say, pretty gross. What are you gonna do to get rid of it? Or put him to rest?
First, we'll need to identify exactly who they are, notify their kin, prepare them for burial rites, and choose whether they would like to bury what remains or burn it. That is why they were locked in the shed for the evening before. Does this satisfy you, Alder? Do you feel like you are now in the know?
Yep, I think I'm in as much of the know as any.
Good. Then I hope that this will be the last time you feel so inclined. You have been helpful to Orsnu. But helpful strangers from outside town, it's not the same as running it as the burgomaster. These people depend on me and what I do. And without me and my leadership, there is no Orsnu. There is only, he turns back to it, this. You understand now, don't you?
I do. I understand more than you probably even know. See, I used to know someone in a position a lot like yours. Worked for them, even, in a similar way. And for all of that work and all of that planning, our city still got burned down, friend. And so in order for me to do my job and be a helpful visitor, I just want to make sure that I have everything I need to operate. Because I don't want the same thing to happen again.
Well, then let me be helpful to you. Your next step will be to help find more supplies, a new avenue, to replace what Yugen has taken from us.
You want a new tax collector, or you want someone else to pay?
Someone else to pay. No need for more tax collectors, lest we run into another one like Yugen.
What can you tell me about this Morsible?
There is one avenue. Lady Fedotov. She's a hoarder. I bear her likeness to a witch. Haughty. Narcissistic. Couldn't stand when I ended things between us, and made Orsnu pay for it, while she sits in her gilded mansion with her riches. If she could be persuaded to assist, we may yet find a way out of this hard winter. She lives a half-day's journey outside of Orsnu. She likely would find it in bad taste for me to make an appearance. But you, a helpful stranger, that could be helpful. It is about time that she assisted the village. And it would be easier if she agreed to help, don't you think?
It certainly would help things out. Curious that she seems involved with the village, but it seems she hasn't paid any of her tax. I wonder why that is.
She is... Alder, go ahead, give me an insight check in this moment.
Mm-hmm. Low rolls on the insides, unfortunately. That's a 10.
She's a selfish noble. Likes to think of herself as better than others. Thinks that running her little duchy is more important.
In my experience, that's sometimes just how nobles are. But I'm sure she can see reason and persuasion, especially in rough times. That's what you're banking on, at least, right?
Indeed.
So you just want payment here? Any way or form?
Ideally, livestock. Coin can be useful, but it doesn't light fires in people's homes, patch walls, or put food in the belly.
Fair enough. Can't buy something that isn't in supply, right?
Exactly. And with things as they are, I find that I have little other avenues to rely on. I would caution, do not fall for her silver tongue. She certainly puts on a good show. But at her heart, well, you're inclined for the arcane, are you not?
What gave it away?
I've always suspected that she is herself a witch It is why most of the village avoids her. It's why she can stay to her domain. But desperate times call for desperate measures.
Hell,
So I
my
will
experience,
go ahead, you first, Elder.
my experience, a witch is mighty different from a witch you can talk to. Might still have to make a deal, but keep my skin on me.
Well, there you have it. Your bearing, your knowledge, and you're now in the loop. If you succeed, then we will continue on moving forward. Perhaps even a bit of a reward. Should we fail, well, Ursnu will pay the price.
Well, I shouldn't waste too much time then. Unless there's anything else you need of me, or anything else to show, I think I'll take my leave.
I think you should take your leave as well. Big seeing you all there.
And he nods and retains again that viper kind of just no emotion. The slightest thing just maybe showing times as he stares at him this whole conversation.
The burgomaster meets your eyes with the same expression, that kind of locked stock, seeing as you were not rattled by him collecting all of the casualties of the evening before. He returns back to his domain, back to Sybil, and you keep the stone face like a really good SpongeBob parody, you know, stone face just like my motherfucking house is. And return back to your companions as Jove and Virgil, you head back towards the burgomasters. You see Alder going around the outside, passing by. The burgomaster's thugs, eyes trained on him the entire time. Give you all plenty of just easy nods, but their eyes are fixated on your wizard friend.
Alder returns the stare out of the corner, still look as he walks by. Less direct, but out of the corner for sure.
A song and dance that many people have played before. Although it's like walking through the old streets of Fland when you were not the made man you are now.
You were saying, Virgil.
Seems like you've made some friends.
Well, in some of my line of work, the less cozy you get with people, it means the closer that you did get.
I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
It means that once, business gets messy. Let's put it that way. But, did get a little bit more information. Specifically, Burgomaster wanted to try and make a show of everything for me, but has also asked us on a bit of a task, which I think lines up with where we're going next. As again, just to make sure, it was Marlena that he mentioned on that, correct?
Yes, he referred to her as more of Lady Vitatov.
Yes.
And that one, but yes, you've been able to put those two together.
Yes, I would have recognized the name. But he's asked for us to visit one Marlena in order to ask for payment, in order to make up for the lost offering and taxes, essentially.
Well, it's not a short trip, but we could make it there by night if we leave right now, or we can wait until tomorrow. Jove and I have offered to bring the boy with us, Luca. So we'll have some assistance getting there, and also a reason for her to see us there and not get suspicious of anything.
That's fair enough. Boy's father might even be there, if you got lucky. Sure, we
Might
can take it
do.
with. It's close
Get it.
enough that it won't be too dangerous, I think.
Yeah.
So we are being kind of drafted as tax collectors.
In a manner of speaking. Yeah, it looks like we killed one and then they made me the next one. Yeah, I
There
hate
can
this
only
town.
be one.
Yeah. But, the burgomaster, though, seems particularly not on the best of terms with Marlena. Tried to talk about her having a silver tongue and being careful what she says. Called her a witch, which does raise my curiosity. There is another spellcaster there. I'd be happy to meet him. And more than happy to hear what she has to say rather than.
Right. I agree. I mean, it sounds like, got to be a pretty solid person to give out a powerful magical item, and sounds like she was even inviting uh, old Ivan to come over there anyway. So
I didn't mention that part to him. We'll see how that goes first.
I think
Still,
that's a good.
still debating how much I want Ivan around a little bit, but well, if things go well and it's a good deal, maybe we'll tell old Ivan. But I want to keep that card close to the chest for now, like you all were saying.
Well, I think it makes sense to not waste time, and unless there's anything pressing that y'all need to do in the bustling town of Orsnew today, still plenty of daylight that I think we'd be able to get there before nightfall. Uh, Luckily, we got some maps to be able to ease our journey, and it seems to be mostly going on the road, anywho. So,
DM, what time of day is it?
You guys got up at 8, probably finished up breakfast and all you deers closer to 9. It hasn't been a ton of time. It's like not even 10 o'clock yet.
Oh,
Yeah, it's still relatively early in the day. You guys got up at a decent time. It wasn't like yesterday when you woke up super late. Everything. So it's not even midday yet.
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I've got everything that I need. You guys want to grab the boy? Take off as soon as you want.
One thing that I do want to look for is any kind of magical weapons or armor.
No rolls needed on this one. You head towards the smithy, and kind of gaunt and hollowed-eyed man comes out and shows you the wear. And Virgil, with your experience with weapons and likes, they're all rather crude, poorly made. None of them shine or seem exceptionally fair. In fact, there's hardly any weapons here. Lots of it seems more like farming tools, horseshoes. Right? It's slim pickings to say the least.
Yeah. Well, I tried.
Yeah, you were hopeful, but seeing as the meager stock that Orsnu typically provides, unlike Waterdeep, where you can name off the top of your head 5 different places that sell magical weapons, and they're all within a stone's throw of each other. Here in Orsnu, less so.
Then I will buy some potions of healing.
Absolutely. I can do some quick rolls real quick. Virgil, go ahead and roll me a D100. I'll have your dice tell me a story.
Hundreds of them. Bang. 89.
89. Indeed, they are stacked, so let's make this. Okie dokie. They do have, let that roll. Roll the d6. That'll be 4 potions of basic healing, 2d4 plus 2. Each one's going to be 50 gold ravens.
I will buy 2.
Go ahead and mark off 100 gold ravens. They're your basic kind of dark, ruddy colored. They actually purchased them from Serena, who is working at the hospice. You see a number of beds are filled with people injured from the night before. Some treating burns. You see some of the people you helped out the evening before, and they thank you once again. Serena is happy to see you all, and she is able to spare some of those potions, especially you of all people, having saved her in the past. And she looks well. She's got her hair pulled back. She does look a whole lot like a much smaller, younger version of Lady Felicinu. Has the hair pulled back the same way. That kind of thinks like Civil War nurse outfit on. But go ahead and add those 2 potions to your list. She's happy to sell them to you guys. Even whispers, I would usually keep these, but for you all, of course. Sorry I can't take any more discounts on them. They're really hard to make.
Well, I'm just glad you have them.
And she smiles back at you and be safe out there, okay?
It's what I always try to be, but well, let's just hope Lady Luck's on my side.
And she waves to you all before returning back to her duties at the hospice and aiding the villagers of Orsnu, keeping the hospice running and alive since the defeats of the necromancer, Lady Govia Felicinu. You all leave from the hospice, and Serena heading over to, I believe, Lucas, I would assume.
Yep.
And as you approach, you could see he presses his face up against one of the windows and waves to you all, and the door opens back up. You're back! Hi, friends!
Hey, Luca. Are you ready?
No. I didn't know we were leaving today. What should I pack?
Whatever you normally bring to Miss Mary's.
Okay.
You got
Okay.
clothes?
Clothes, yes.
Soap? You should bring soap.
Clothes, soap, and he goes and gets this gigantic backpack built for him, and just like haphazardly throws clothes in there, building a like lye-styled soap. Can I bring some potatoes?
Of course you can bring potatoes. It wouldn't be much of a trip if you couldn't bring potatoes, would it?
And he smiles super big. And goes and he just dumps a whole thing of potatoes on top of the soap and the clothes on there. Just. Did you want a potato? You're really small. You should eat more. And he doesn't ask you, Alder. He just pushes a whole just raw potato into your hands.
Thanks. I'll hold on to that.
Pat you on top of your head, and Alder, it rattles your whole brain as he does. Just.
Oh, yeah, thanks, buddy. Yeah, appreciate it.
Oh, your hair's weird.
Yeah, I wouldn't touch it a little too much. It gets a little warm.
And he puts his hair back on there and. Oh.
Yep. Hands off now, okay?
Okay.
Be careful.
Okay.
I'm not like a lot of other people. I'm made of genuine fire. It's like touching a hot stove or kettle. You know how that feels?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. You don't wanna keep your hand on there, so it's just hands to ourselves right now.
What?
Appreciate it.
What's genuine fire?
Uh, like real fire. Like I'm made of fire.
Oh, okay. And he just kind of nods and accepts that answer
Yeah, I was like,
immediately.
well, that went well.
Okay.
Okay.
It takes as he throws it all together, but he's got a big giant backpack with no matching clothes likely, but a bunch of them, and he gets like this big old coat on, and it's mostly made of like sheep wool. It looks kind of like a big toddler onesie, really. And it just makes him like even bigger and just kind of fluffy, and it's got like a ton of fur on there and like a big hood that goes on. He pulls it real tight, so it's just like all this fur, all this body, like a baseball sized opening in the front where it's really just kind of like his nose and his mouth goes through. I'm ready. And it kind of waits for you guys to lead the way. Grabs your hand, Virgil. Okay.
We have that map that he showed us, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he
Yeah,
had
Joe.
no problem letting you take it. He not very good at the map reading himself. The only place he can really point out on there is his house. He knows that one really well. He points to that one. But besides that, you gather the map, grab Luca, have him pack quickly, and with his hand holding onto yours, Virgil, and a potato on the other one, he's ready to go.
Here we go.
To go.
Mario style, let's go. It is an easier day out here in Barovia as you start leaving Orsnu. Luca waves goodbye as he's already finished the potato before you even leave the kind of the city's boundaries, the village's boundaries, and waves goodbye to it and follows you through. As you leave, you know, the proximity of Orsnu, there is a easy path to follow, Jove, leading out of town. However, it hasn't been what's the right word for it? It hasn't been like plowed like the rest of the of Orsnu. The snow is still heavy on the path. It's still pretty thick on there, so it takes a little more time than walking through the village, but it's not winter condition like blizzard conditions by any means, and so it takes some time. No survival check needed on this one as you travel through the day. The map is well made, and you really just have to follow the path for a while. Walking through, Joe, do you have your gloves on by chance?
I mean, if it's cold out and whatnot, I don't see why he wouldn't have his gloves on.
As you're leading your party, you feel a big, kind of meaty hand tug at one of your gloves, and it almost comes off. It kind of gets stuck halfway through, as it feels like Luca had like come up and pulled on your hand, and your glove come halfway off, and you turn around and you can see that you're leading the way. Alder's behind you. Luca is in the very back, you know, sticking real close to you, Virgil.
It just feels like somebody just tugged on my hand real quick.
Oh, it doesn't feel like it. Someone almost took your glove off your hand. It's like halfway pulled off of you. And you look behind you, and all there is engaged in whatever Alder's doing. Virgil, you're keeping an eye on Luca and making sure he keeps pace. He is easily distracted, being outside of Or's new and just seeing stuff that he's, as my time working as a direct service provider, everything is fascinating. There's all sorts of new stuff out here, and you can tell that Luca probably doesn't get out much. So you're kind of having to keep his pace and making sure that he doesn't wander off and all that good stuff. So your party seems engrossed in just kind of following along as your glove is nearly pulled off your hand.
Does it feel like there was like a backward, like, was it like a tug or more like it's staying in place as I tried to move forward?
It definitely felt like someone tried to tug it off of you. Like, it's pulled back, and what kind of stops you is like you can feel it pull, and your hand goes with it. This is somebody like a bad pickpocket tried to take your gloves off you whilst you were wearing them. Like, you haven't seen anything so crude and like out and about since, well, some of your time in Mole Master. And
I was gonna say that's exactly what they would do for Mole Master.
yeah, it's like like in Mole Master, you know that glove would have been taken right off your person. You got used to walking with your hands clenched in Mole Master, so people wouldn't just like take that off of you like your first week in Mole Master. You lost that pair of gloves that your Uncle Welby gave you. Here it's like in a pull, and as soon as the glove doesn't come off, you feel that kind of letting go as if someone's let go of your hand, and you have to pull it back on. You look back and to see, expecting it to be Luca trying to get your attention, and he's full body distance behind you, even with his big body and long arms.
Big head.
Little arms.
Yeah, he'll call back to Alder and say, "Hey, Alder, you still got those gloves on you? Because mine just about ripped off my hands. I thought it was one of y'all trying to grab my attention or something, but it was like, I
You
don't know."
accuse of being the glove bandit?
Well, first off, I don't wear gloves, Jove.
Well, I know, but
Never
you said
have.
that you had a menagerie of gloves, and I didn't know if you
I didn't take
kept
them
them.
with me.
You didn't take them with you. Maybe that's a good thing. Uh, Jove, I guess we'll try and take off the other glove.
Comes off just fine.
Weird.
Do you notice any other sensations?
Jove, you feel
No.
around for other sensations. Look at your other glove. Take them both off. Put them back on. You're good.
No, I don't know. Nothing. Just again, like somebody was trying to slip it off my hands. More like they were stealing it than anything. But yeah,
Sounds similar to almost what we had before, although that one had shown itself in a form to you, but my estimation is some sort of spirit is taking an interest in us, been following around. Whether it actually wants anything or if it's just messing with you and me, I can't say. But so far it hasn't been violent, at least yet.
yeah. Okay. So won't think too much of it now.
Keep an eye on it. If there's anything else going on or if you notice it intensifying, let us know. Because then that means that a much different message is being sent.
Will do.
For the time being. Well, unless you want to try doing an exorcism out here. I don't know. Also, that's obviously just a hunch, but, well, it's not the first time we've dealt with that, so. I say we continue on for now, but let us know if anything else happens.
Just keeping the lines of communication open here.
Noted in my diary. gloves. Still coming off.
Still weird.
Moving forward, Jove, you put your gloves on tight, clench your fists once more, start doing your mole master walk, and continue heading towards the Fidatav estate. Alder, you're thinking it's probably now closer to about 2 o'clock. You've been walking for a couple hours. It's cold, but you guys are prepared. You've got your winter gear on. You got the big bodies behind you. The wind blows, but you don't have huge drifts of snow like the evening before, or like when you were chasing after the Vistani. And as you round the bend, you start seeing large fields, well maintained, seemingly not snap frozen like some of the ones that surround Orsnu. In fact, you see the better part of what appears to be a dozen or so people out in the field. You can see animals fenced in, kind of walking around, lazily in the afternoon graying sunlight. And at first glance, as you begin to take in this estate, this place seems like it'd be the envy of just about everyone in Barovia except maybe this Lord Strahd everyone talks about. Even the Chill Wind Healer seems to give up a little bit. It doesn't bluster as much. There is sound, movement, instead of the quietness of the roads outside of Orsnu. This seems like a pleasant walk. The path is cleared of snow, making it much easier to make your way towards the estate. And you can see a sign hanging from a battered signpost that reads in faded paint, Fidatov, Fidatov. Most of the land is given over to rows of bushes that stubbornly cling to a few leaves, fields covered in snow. You can see a tiny orchard, also appears to be thriving, though at this time of year the branches seem bare of fruits. There are livestock pens holding cattle, pigs, chickens. They all look healthy, well fed. Immediately, you see Luca get excited and starts pointing out and telling you all the different animals that he sees. You even see that there appears to be a grain silo full to bursting. As it appears, the Fidatov state does have quite a bounty of supplies. You see small buildings and huts are scattered on the edges of the fields. And you see a majestic, grand, two-story manor house looms in the distance at the end of this long, well-maintained cobblestone road. The first that you've seen outside of Orsnu. You can hear the sound of a blacksmith hammering iron while farmhands and laborers call out to each other as they go about their chores.
Well, this is, I expected it to be nice, but this is much more than I envisioned.
They have lots of animals. There's cattle. There's pigs and chicken and look sheep. But see there, and he points out, and you see some, think real big ass looking bulls, huge horns on them. Don't try to pet them. They're not nice. They're really angry.
I will keep that in mind. How often did you come up here with your dad?
One time when I was smaller, and then when I got hurt, we came here, and this one time, my Papa came and brought all of his tools, and gave haircuts. Uh, uh, it- uh, I, I think.
Interesting he came here when you got hurt. Would have thought there might have been someone who could have helped in village, but maybe good friends.
Hmm. I don't know. Uh, I got kicked in the head, and it all went really dark, and then we were here.
And then you were here.
Mm-hmm.
What?
I
Well,
spent
you'll have
a lot of time with animals.
well, you'll have to introduce us to the lady of the house, so we don't just come off as strangers here.
Oh, okay, okay. Follow me. And Virgil, with you still, he pretty much hasn't let go of your hand for most of this time. Starts bounding forward, pulling you along. And for Joven Alder, it is quite the sight to see Virgil just get pulled forward on this one. Just, and as Luca hustles forward, um, you can see as you get closer to the manor, as you're approaching, it feels very similar to your first time in Orsnu. The people, you know, give side glances, try not to make a lot of eye contact. They don't wave to you like some of the people in Orsnu. They seem kind of, well, they don't see the interesting crew like you guys very often this far out. So they're definitely keeping their distance. Some of them look to Luca, and you can see some vague recognition for a bit, but he doesn't wave or say hi to people. He is in full get into the manor mode. And as you get towards the outside of the manor, you can see a low stone fence follows the well-maintained road on both sides, leading up to a grand columned front porch with two huge mahogany doors. It's a 2 stories tall building constructed of solid stone. It almost looks more like a castle than it does like a manor. You can see expensive glass windows look out, and the still very neatly manicured lawn and gardens. The place is a buzz with activity, in spite of it, being this late into winter. You can see that there is what appears to be a large garden maze with kind of tall shrub bushes that lead out from the estate. It's got to be the entirety of an anchor. Think real Victorian style garden maze out to one side. You can see that there are gargoyles squat over these carved double doors flanked by thick stone columns. Each door is set with a ring of heavy brass. It seems like it's been designed to seem huge and majestic so that anybody entering the house would feel small and insignificant. And as Virgil, you're pulled by Luca, Joven, Alder, jogging to keep pace as he heads towards the door. He goes up to one of these brass rings and boom, 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 boom. There's a bit of a pause, and the door begins to open. That's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Dang.
Hmm.
I want to meet one Marlena,
Well, it seems a likely scenario. So, let us say goodnight to chat.